DVR to record your programs, we value our employees, and utilizing the latest technology in industry safety combined with new investments to keep our drivers comfortable demonstrates how at Decker we are driven to be the best.
It is a tremendous feeling of pride. I mean, I'm basically given the best one of these vehicles to drive on a daily basis to do my job.
It is a very good company to work for, and I'm proud to be a driver here.
It's a new day at Decker Truck Line, and for professional drivers, an exciting time to come to work.
You are giving every bit of respect, treated like a family member here. When you call in, your dispatcher knows your first name. They ask you how your day is, how your family is, and so forth. It's a great place to work.
We know there's no place like home, so we're making the driver's experience on the road the next best thing.
They're making good investments into the ideal, making it comfortable for the driver, and trying to make it better for us while we're out here on the road.
Power inverters, refrigerators, and microwaves. Drivers can enjoy their meals in comfort with flat-screen TVs connected with DirecTV by EpicView, offering a full lineup of channels as well as premium channels and the NFL Sunday Ticket. With a DVR to record your programs, you won't miss a thing while you're on the road.
It really is like a hotel room on wheels. Every comfort and luxury that you have at home.
34-hour restart would be very easy. Yeah, very easy.
We value our employees, and utilizing the latest technology in industry safety combined with new investments to keep our drivers comfortable demonstrates how at Decker we are driven to be the best.
It is a tremendous feeling of pride. I mean, I'm basically given the best one of these vehicles to drive on a daily basis to do my job.
It is a very good company to work for, and I'm proud to be a driver here.
Hey you guys, thanks for showing up here on our Tuesday Q&A. If you can hear me and see me, let me know, and that would be fantastic. But again, just give me a holler, let me know that you can see me, and let me know where you're at, what questions you might have for our Omnitracs navigation, because that's what we'll be discussing most of today. All right, can you hear me? Or am I muted? I might be muted. There we go. Awesome. So, good morning. Hey, Howard. Good to see ya out of Vegas. Awesome, awesome. Pretty full out of Vegas right now. Yeah, we are. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, we are live here every Tuesday at noon Central, and you can just leave your comments, questions in the chat there, and we will get to them as soon as possible. I'm sure Anna will be here and answering questions as well, and anybody else that's available here on our team. Of course, if you have any questions, you can also call our recruiting department, which I should probably throw that number up there for you, but it's 888, oh, look at that, it's already on there, 888-668-0698. Awesome, you can hear me, you can see me, all that good stuff. We've got several things that we're going to be talking about today. We are going to be talking about our Omnitracs navigation, some of the easy to use usages there, and some of the more complicated, maybe you have more questions on type things. We'll be talking about that. What'd you think of the video? We got a new setup here. Hope you guys are enjoying it. It is nice to kind of introduce, while I'm getting everything else in order, kind of introduce with one of our videos that has been produced on some of the equipment that we've got. So just coming on in and knowing what you're going to be coming into or what you'll be getting upgraded to is the EpicView system, as well as our microwaves are going to be in all of our trucks, and of course, you know, all the extras, the refrigerator, the APU, the CB units, navigation, which Omnitracs, again, that's what we're talking about, and all of that. But besides the Omnitracs navigation, we're also going to announce the Steometrics winners, and if you were on our Facebook Live yesterday at 4 p.m. Central, then you probably already know who our winners are. But just in case, we'll be announcing that as well. And then just a reminder on truck maintenance. We'll deal with that. We just got out of the safety, the brake safety week last week, and wanted to make sure that yes, that is an annual occurrence, but we still need to make sure that we're staying up on the maintenance nonstop. And we've got a strong backbone here with the shop, and they're going to continue to take care of us as well. And then as well as talking about tarping tools and what we can use there, and some reminders on safety and health for this coming fall that we're already in. I mean, if you looked out my window, you would know that we're flat out into the fall, so be careful. Windy as all get out. Reminder on our ELDs and all that good stuff. Hey, Patrick, hopped on. Good deal. Where you at now? Oh, Howard says he has it all and he loves it. Love to hear that. That way we know we're taking good care of you. Good. Before we jump into some of the specifics and some of the learning curves, I guess, that we're going to be providing, some of you already know this. I did mention it yesterday, but I would like to remind you, if you aren't already familiar with Bob Wolvers, you probably already know who that is, but Bob drove for Decker for 23 plus years, and there will be a memorial service for Bob in Hampton. So Hampton, it's actually on Thursday, this Thursday the 26th from 4 to 7 p.m. I'm going to probably say the name of it wrong, so I apologize, but I think is it Sietsema Vogel Funeral Home in Hampton? But the visitation is going to be between 4 and 7. Bob is definitely going to be missed. If any of you have a chance to hop on our Facebook page or even his family Facebook page, but the obituary is there as well as you can see here. But if you could just give your condolences, we would really appreciate it. I'm sure his family would. And if you have a story that you can share about him, I'm sure his family would really appreciate that. And so would we. So if you're not already familiar with who Bob is, he was with us for about 23 years. He just recently was awarded, I think, the 2 Million Mile Award, and actually a couple different awards here recently. And just a great man, and had just a recent struggle with cancer, about a cancer. So we definitely want to recognize him and remember him. But the service itself will be on the 26th from 4 to 7 in Hampton. So, absolutely. So as we are talking about today, like I said, we'll discuss the navigation. I do want to announce the winners of the drawing for the Steometrics. You guys know what Steometrics is, right? For those of you who weren't on our video yesterday on our Facebook channel. By the way, if you're not following us on Facebook, do so. Not at this very second, but do so. And that way every Monday at 4 p.m. Central, when we go live, we've got an opportunity for Q&A. If you are available at that time, which means you're not driving, then hop on and join us. And then, of course, you'll have time for questions and we'll give answers. But if you don't have time at that moment, then there's always the replay. So you can catch us on the replay as well. But every Tuesday at noon Central, we're here live. So make sure that you're subscribing to us here so you can participate in this Q&A. And then, of course, click the little bell, and it'll notify you every time we go live. It'll notify you every time we've got a new video out as well. But we've got all that stuff going on. I want to just make sure that you remind you that we have that. In addition to, let's see if I can bring this up for you to see. So this is our Steometrics. There you go. See a little bit of it. Our Steometrics program is really it's a number of surveys. We partner with Steometrics, and they go through a number of surveys for us to help us improve for our drivers. Remember, we are your support system, the in-house here. We're supporting you. We're supposed to make things easier for you, make it just run a lot smoother, give you everything that you need, whether it be training, information, resources, whatever it might be, comforts. And that's why we've gone ahead and have created or have implemented this Epic View in the trucks, because it's more of a comfort away from home. Why we've installed the microwaves, because we know that you guys are doing a lot for us while you're out on the road, and we know that we need to be able to take care of you as well so that you can also feel comfortable. But with the Steometrics, the number of surveys that we're going through, we survey those who just recently go through orientation. We survey those who have gone through or been here for 14 days, those who have gone 45 days or more after orientation. And the reason we do all these different surveys is to get a feel for making sure that, yes, you have the support coming out of orientation and during orientation. And then once you're going solo, you've got that support, you've got the communication that you need, and then continued after that 45 days and on after that. If you're not getting that, that's the kind of information that we need to know, because again, we are supposed to be here for you. We are your, just another resource for you. You'll be getting these messages, or a text message, I guess, from the 574 number. It's a real brief survey when you first start. And then you'll have the annual surveys as well. So the annual surveys, and actually that's what these drawings are from, are the annual surveys. And they are confidential, but it gives you an opportunity to share our weaknesses. It gives you an opportunity to share our strengths too, and then we can capitalize on that. But we definitely want to make sure that we can improve and be what you need it from us. So that is what our Steometrics is all about. Now, past winners, we have a drawing every week. This is our first year, our first full year that we've done the Steometrics. So we've done a whole cycle. Last year we did a drawing every week as we started to implement the Steometrics program. This year we are doing a drawing every week from, let's see, I think it was, I'm trying to think of what, was it September 16th? I think that we started it. Anyways, we have a couple of drawings already, and this is our third drawing for the Steometrics, and it's for those who have already completed the survey. So if you haven't completed the survey, complete the survey, because you have a chance to win a $50 gift card. So we've got, I believe the $50 gift cards are from the Decker store, from Walmart, and then it's a Visa gift card. So I think we've got 3 different options there. All very usable, great gift cards, but and in no particular order. From the past drawings that we've had so far, we had Lyle Turville. Some of these names are going to sound familiar because you see them on our page all the time. You can congratulate some of them for being here for several years. Lyle's been here for several years. He was actually given one of the brand new trucks, more personalized to him. If you didn't already see it, he's got this beautiful yellow Pete. Steve Alliger, he's the grand champion. So you probably see him a lot. Actually, Lyle, I lied. Lyle, you don't have the yellow Pete. Troy's got the yellow Pete. Lyle just recently competed in the championships out in Pittsburgh. That's where it was. Out in Pittsburgh, and did a wonderful job representing us in Montana. So proud of him. He did a fantastic job. But again, you'll be seeing a lot of these guys. We've got Kyle Dixon was one of last week's winners, as well as Joshua Vega and Felix Perez. You guys have done great and continue to do well. So again, that's Steometrics. How you win? Basically, you need to fill out your survey for the Steometrics, and then we draw your name. Easy as peasy, right? Awesome. Oh, there we go. Show that. So that being said, this week's winners, and again, no particular order, and I'm not sure who's getting which gift card, but Jessica will get those out to you. What we'll do is, Jessica and Steph actually, will get those out to you. They'll get with your driver manager, and your fleet manager will let us know where you want that sent. So we've got Timothy Olden, Chad Hazelton, and Johnny Cox. Those are our 3 winners for this week. So again, $50 Visa gift card, $50 to the Decker store for the gift card there, and $50 for a Walmart gift card. So congratulations to you guys. And again, this is just a real brief survey, and the survey that you're going to be getting depends on where you're at with Decker, how long you've been here, where we're at with providing you the information and whatnot. So the experience and all that stuff. So please participate. It's really going to help all of us in the long run. The whole idea is to gain knowledge from it. So if you could do that, that'd be fantastic. I do want to remind you, Safety's got a reminder. If you didn't already see the, what do I want to say, newsletter, struggling I guess. if you didn't already see our newsletter, check it out, because in there we have a new route for our Lamar's load. Oh, you probably can't see this as well as I had hoped. Let me see if I can make this bigger for you guys. Oh, there you go. What you're going to be doing is taking, am I making the wrong one bigger? What you're going to be doing is making, or taking the 24th Street instead of, I think everybody was taking 18th originally. So the suggested route is actually going to be highlighted in the yellow there. So what happened is we had actually 2 accidents within this last year, since December of last year. 2 different accidents, 2 different trucks that were hit by trains because they were sitting on the 18th Street waiting to enter in. Now, this isn't a safe area for trucks. It's not enough room for them to get around. With being about 74 feet long between the truck and the trailer, it's a really, really tight fit. And it's just not a safe spot. So the entrance that we would like you to take is going to be 24th. So if you could take 24th, that would be fantastic, and then a lot safer. So we ask that you take that one. So again, you can actually check that out on our newsletter. That is emailed out to you guys. If you haven't already seen it, take a look. Jessica's done a wonderful job there and has emailed that out to you guys. They need a light. Oh, yeah, they totally do. I agree with that. And I think requests have been made here and there, but in the meantime, we're going to be taking 24th to just make sure that everybody is as safe as possible and out of the way. We don't want to put anybody we don't want anybody injured. And luckily enough, we haven't had that problem, but we really don't want to take the chance. Right? Absolutely. Also, for the ELDs, you guys got to... Did you understand that? All right, try again. The ELDs, you guys probably got a message. I think it was a couple of months ago when we first started implementing the ELD system from our AOBRD device. Back in June, we started implementing it. Well, just as a reminder, with the ELDs, there is, every once in a while, there's an error saying that you need to transition and start using your paper logs. Don't do that. Unless safety has specifically told you themselves, don't do that. The error is something that the Omnitracs is working on. Omnitracs ELD, they're working on it. I just wanted to remind you that if you are getting that error, to be patient, because that is the key. Aren't we all being tested on patience? But to be patient and turn off the truck, turn off everything, and make sure that we can try and clear and reset. The reset is not working properly. That's the problem. As long as the ELD is still calculating your hours of service properly, then you're going to be fine. Then just continue as it is. You just can't clear that one exclamation with the red triangle around it. They're working on it. They have been working on it, but just be patient if you can. Okay. Awesome. So that was my reminder for that. We'll jump into. Let's see. What am I missing? We'll jump into the navigation. How about we jump into some of that and go over it? As a reminder, with the navigation, there is a link. I think I saw Anna post it. I might be full of malarkey. Okay. Nope, not yet. So there is a booklet that you can get. I printed off because I like things printed off so that I can see them. And there's actually a guide that you can get that will give you step by step on information on how to use the ELD system or the navigation system if you aren't already familiar with it. But I do want to remind you that a lot of the questions are just going to be available right there. But for the most part, what we hear often is just trying to get the Omnitracs navigation for just finding a point of interest, just finding an address itself. So step by step, this is from your main screen on your Omnitracs navigation. You're going to go ahead and select new destination. And the new destination obviously is going to allow you to put in additional info on the address so that you can find them more specific. If you can put the full address, if you have the number and everything, That's going to work a whole lot better. You don't have to. It's not required, but it obviously makes it a little easier for you. So once you start, you're going to put in the city first. And make sure that you're not doing the community within the city or the area within the city, but in fact, the name of the city itself. Yesterday, I'm going to stick with the same example that I used yesterday, but it's the, let's say, Phoenix, Maryvale. So Maryvale is a suburb or a community, I guess, within Phoenix. And if you start typing in that, it's a 15 square mile radius. It could be pretty much anywhere. So what you actually want to do is start typing in Phoenix. And then once, it'll basically autofill, it'll give you a couple of options. So once you pick Phoenix, you can click on that, and then it'll populate up the Phoenix, Arizona address, or the Phoenix, Arizona city. Once you've done that, then you go and you start typing in the actual number. So you'll put next, you'll click the next button on the screen, and then type the number. If 1013 is the number of, say the address is 1013 East Hatcher Road in Phoenix, Arizona, then put 1013. That point you'll hit next again, and then start typing the name of the road or the street or whatever. But when you're typing the name of the road or the street, in this example, it's East Hatcher Road. Do not start typing east and do not type road. You're going to want to start typing Hatcher because that's the actual name. And what it'll do is it'll populate a couple of options and you can choose from those options. So start typing HATCH. It'll populate a couple of different options. You'll choose, in this example, East Hatcher Road. Click on East Hatcher Road, and then you move on. At that point, you can determine if you want it in your trip, in your favorite, and then go ahead and start the routing for it. But that's really how you're going to use the Omnitracs navigation system. And that's from the main menu. So the main menu, you go to the new destination, and you can start creating it at that point. Does anybody have any questions on that? Again, you can access, I do see that she put on here the PDF that you can access the user guide, which is pretty darn helpful. And you can go to their website and access it as well. But if you are looking for a point of interest, which is another way about searching for a location, you can do a lot of searching based off the point of interest. You've got based off of restaurants, you can do gas stations or truck stops, fueling locations, you can go historical sites. I mean, it has all kinds of things on there that you can actually find as a point of interest. Now, even more specific, say you're going to a restaurant and you want, I don't know, American cuisine, or you want Chinese and you want a specific style, whatever it is, Asian, then you can click on that specific type of cuisine, and then they will find a location near you. Now, if you're in a location, or if it's not able to find anything, it's probably outside of the parameters that are set. And you can change the parameters to 1 mile, 5 miles, 10 miles, or 15. So then it'll just expand options in that. So if you're looking for a specific fueling location, you can put in the actual, like, they use Chevron as an example, Pilot Flying J. Let them know where you want to go, or let it know where you want to go, and then it'll populate the closest ones. And basically what it'll do is it'll start from the closest and then further out. So it'll populate in order of how close it is to you. All right. Okay, cool. But it'll also make sure when you're entering in the information, but when you first start, you first get everything situated and you're setting up your navigation for the day, make sure that you're putting in all the information accurately into the settings, or it's more into, I'm trying to think, it's not the settings that I think it's under the point of interest. But what you're going to do is you're going to put in the information for your vehicle, and that's going to help to determine what route you're going to be taking. Let me know if you can remind me. Was it in the settings, or where was that? Where's that at? But you're putting in your truck information. So what it weighs, the length, height, those are details that are going to need to be included to help it make it easier or more accurate for the for the routing. And if you need to reroute, that is also an option that you can do through the navigation system. Rerouting because of possibly a detour. If you need to find out where the detour is, you can click on that detour button and it'll give you that new route. The detour button, I believe, is in the upper right hand corner. I was just going to cheat and make sure, but I'm pretty sure it's in the upper right hand corner of the screen. Now, if you are headed down the road and some of the information is incorrect, say the speed limit is off, then you can actually click on the incident button. So down in the bottom right hand, there's three buttons, or not three buttons, but three dots. And if you click on that while you're driving, remember there's only a few things that you can do while you're driving, that being one of them. So if you click on that while you're driving, and it'll just basically pin it, or ping it, or whatever you want to call it, so you can continue doing what you're doing and getting to where you need to. And then once you've stopped, then you can actually edit it. You can pull up that ping or that incident and put notes in it to why you pinged it. Maybe the speed limit was off. Maybe it was an area that you needed to be reminded, or you needed specific details on how to get around it. Whatever it is, it gives you an opportunity to edit. And it also, like the Omnitracs does for Decker, for us, it also helps the Omnitracs navigation become more accurate and provide additional information to you or to others who might be going in that same location. So it completes, I guess, the navigation. It just helps a lot if the more information that you can provide it. What else? What else am I missing here? The favorites. Yes. Okay. So if you have a location that you go to often, then you can put it into the favorites, which is really easy, really great, especially if you're on like a dedicated route, or maybe it's something that you go to every once in a while, but it's an area you always struggle to get into, always forget that specific location to turn or specific road to turn on. That's where the favorites come in really handy. You can also save it within the trip. So a trip, when you start your day and you're basically getting everything in order for your day, and the driver manager has sent you the information, having the trip option or having the trip details in front of you allow you to plan your day out thoroughly, so that if you do run into snags, if you run into construction, or you need to be taking detours, or you're running into weather, you have already planned and created scenarios, so it's easier to adjust. You're more likely to stay on time, to get that load back there on time. It's going to be safer. You're not rushing yourself. Just like when you're doing your pre-trip, you're taking the time to assure yourself getting there safely and getting there in one piece. And so that trip is really handy if you guys would just take the time, either the night before you take off, or just the morning of, or depending on, of course, when you get that load. Take the time, get yourself through that trip, plan out your day. It's really going to save you in the long run. It might take you 15 minutes to plan out your day. It is most definitely 15 minutes that are worth it. And that goes the same for the pre-trip, you guys. We talk about the pre-trip, and I know a lot of you, we're all guilty at some point of this, but a lot of us are guilty of just rushing through a pre-trip because it just seems like a lot of work, right? I mean, it's like, well, is it worth it? But it is. It really is worth it. And if you could do a full pre-trip, that's going to give you, not if you could do it, but that's going to give you that peace of mind that your equipment is up to par, that the maintenance is taken care of on it like it should be, and that you're going to be running smoothly down the road. So here's one resource that you can use. One of a couple I'm going to give you. This is our blog. All you need to do is, if you go to the main page, which is drivedecker.com, and you click on Why Decker, which there's many reasons. But if you click on Why Decker, you go down to our blog, you can actually access this. Now I cheated and I just wrote always do a proper pre-trip. And in this blog post, you can get both our flatbed and our refrigerated checklist. So you can click on either one of those and it'll just give you a run through of what our what steps and what everything that you need to go through, a full pre-trip checklist inspection checklist. There you go. Did I say that right? No, I did. So that gives it both for the refrigerator and flatbed. So obviously, do it to make sure that your pre-trip every time, pre-trip, post-trip, is consistent every time, so that you're not missing anything. We talked twists, rubs, things that might be just swinging or loose, that might need additional clamps or tie straps or whatever. But it's just do a thorough pre-trip, because honestly, it's going to protect yourself, it's going to protect others, it's going to protect the load. So, and that's what counts, is making sure that we're taking the safety measures. Remember, safety is first and foremost. So that's funny. I just read Anna's at the same time I was saying that. So that's right. Well, we're all in agreement. Safety is first. So take the precautions. But honestly, the ELD, the DVIR through the ELD system, quite handy. Please use that to make sure that you're consistent throughout with the pre-trips and taking care of what needs to be taken care of ahead of time, so that you don't have to try and recover. It's easier to play defense ahead of time when you're prepared than it is to play defense and try and catch up. So, all right. Next thing I want to let you know about is one of the games that we've got coming on. We love games, and it's about that time of year that we get a few started, right? We do have a couple that are coming up, but as of right now, I'm just going to announce one, because we don't want to get you overboard here on all these games that we're going. Where did I put it? Is this it? Nope. I'm trying to figure out where I put my game. Well, there we go. Before we even go into the game, why don't we just remind, I'm trying to find my little thing here. Glad you guys are hanging in here with me. One other reminder for that safety would prefer we pass on is, besides the Lamars being rerouted, I just want to remind you guys about about parking alongside the road, making sure that you are taking the time and properly getting off the road, not just, there we go, look at that, so pretty, that you're getting off the road all the way. Don't park alongside the road, especially when we're getting into some of these winter months where the roads are going to get iffy in many areas. They're going to get slick, they're going to get icy, the visibility is going to be poor. You're really putting yourself in a dangerous spot. You're putting others in a dangerous spot, because they might not, if the weather is bad and the visibility is minimal, they might not be able to see where you're at. And I moved it and you guys didn't even get to say it. There we go. They might not be able to see where you're at, and they're following you. If you're pulling off to the side, they might think that that's where the road is going, because you're going to have a better visibility than they are from your view. And because you're in front of them. And you know what? Yes, that's more so in the inclement weather, but at the same time, you got to remember that these cars are lower to the ground, these other vehicles are lower to the ground, and they probably just don't have that view that you have at all. It's not safe. They're going to rear end you. They can clip a mirror. You don't have a safe spot to get out of. Just please, you guys, once again, please be safe. Well, hello. So is Kay Irtham? Am I saying it right? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about our Omnitracs navigation, or that's what we were talking about. So if you have any questions on that, feel free to ask away. But I was going to bring up the game. I don't see where I put my slide for it. How dare I not have it handy. But the game that we're going to be playing is for my flatbedders. So, sound effects to prepare. There we go. So the flatbedders, if you guys are using a particular tool for tarping, let us know what tool you're using. I know there's a lot of different ones out there. Some of them are makeshift, some of them are patented and whatnot, but let us know what tool you're using. If you have a specific tool, that you're using that works really, really well, or at least as far as you're concerned, it works really well, let us know. We would love to share that with everybody else that's out there trying to tarp without one of those tools. We really would like to get one in everybody's hands. So the tarping tool, let us know what you've got. You can submit your tarping tool, a picture of it, to marketing@deckermail.com. And we'll be announcing the prizes for the winner and whatnot later on, along with some of our other games that we've got going on, or competitions, I guess, that we've got going on. But in the meantime, if you could get a picture of your tarping tool over to us and maybe a little bit of detail on how it works. A video is even awesome, or more awesome-ist. Just kidding. But get one of those to us, marketing@deckermail.com, or you can get on our Facebook page and message me through Facebook, and then I can pass that on to marketing as well and get that in front of them. And then we will be able to give you more details on who the winner is and what you win, all that good stuff. Very good. Awesome. Man, we're rolling today. Getting things taken care of, huh? Health and safety. It is about that time of year. It's totally that time of year, by the way, where pollen is in excess. I mean, allergies are kicking in. You know, you've got the beginning of summer. You've got the end of summer, the tail end of it. You've got, I don't know, for people with allergies, you probably get it year round. But it's hitting a lot of people pretty hard. So I do ask that you guys take in a little bit extra time. You might need to, this can sound weird, if you have a pet with you, make sure that you're brushing your pet, trying to get some of that pollen off a little bit easier. That's going to be helpful. Or a little bit, get the pollen off. That might help your asthma a little bit more, just by getting that off before you get into your truck. Same with yourself, you know, combing your hair more often, taking more showers. Those are, you know, getting that pollen off of you, which sometimes can just stick to you. Other things, remember that with the moisture that's been in the air for a lot of these areas, that making sure that your windows, the seals are good on them, that you're drying them off, that things aren't packed in into your truck where it's, you know, preventing an airflow and creating a moldy feel. You might need to wash blankets more often. Make sure that you're not putting anything in there damp. So again, just trying to prevent some of the sicknesses, illnesses that are coming this time of year, especially avoiding some of the mold and what some of the causes mold can create, or some of the issues that mold can create in and of itself. So humidifiers are handy as well, but dehumidifiers obviously in some areas. So, did I miss one? Sorry, thought I missed a comment there. Making sure that you take the extra time with it being a little bit cooler. Some of you might be more comfortable going walks this time of year. And, you know, since it's a little bit cooler, a little bit more comfortable for some. Might be a little too cold for others. Just wrap up a little bit more and put another layer of clothes on and put a beanie on and take a walk. Good 10 minutes of exercise, you guys. It is said that in most jobs, you can burn about 30% of your calories throughout the day, just normal activities, just doing your normal thing. Well, within the trucking industry, you know that you're more sedentary than in a lot of other positions. Office positions are just as guilty, but you're more sedentary, and so you're only burning about 10 to 15% of your daily calories. And you need to keep burning those calories to keep your metabolism up and your health better. So you always feel better if you are, I mean, obviously there's a limit, but you always feel better if you're in, you know, the optimal range for weight, and you'll have more energy. You'll be able to focus more. Getting the proper amount of sleep is extremely important. You'd be amazed by how many things that actually has, it can counteract if you don't. So get the proper sleep. If you're having issues, if you're feeling sick and you're part of the Decker insurance, if you've got MeMD, which you can get through Decker, then give them a call. MeMD is a virtual teledoctor, I guess, where you can call them up on the phone. You can call them up on your cell phone or your landline or your iPad or your computer, and you can do a face-to-face with them. And that face-to-face they can help prescribe you medications if you're sick, if you've got sinus issues, all kinds of things, whether it's a common injury or sprain, or if it's a common illness, cold, that kind of thing, they can help you to take care of it. It's a consultation you can get. Now, there's also other things that you can get through the MeMD counseling as well. We also have the EAP, which is available to all of our employees, whether or not you're on the insurance or not, and their extended families. So all of our extended families are covered under the Decker EAP as well, which is an Employee Assistance Program. And that is a chance for you to talk to somebody. It could be a counselor for parenting or adult care, or taking care of your parents. It could be financial assistance, talking through, or financial support, I guess would be the better way to describe it, but helping you to manage your money. Maybe it's managing your time or stresses within the family or stresses at work, but that's what the EAP is all about, and it's available to all of our drivers and their families, extended families, so in-laws and everybody. So it's very supportive for those of you who have lost family, or have gone through a loss or are grieving, and but that's our EAP system, EAP program. So Employee Assistance Program. There you go. The number for that is 800-872-1111, and then the MeMD, which is for those of you who have the Decker insurance, it's 855-636-3669. All right, so let us know if you have any questions on that. But yeah, they are all certified, board certified doctors and counselors that are available on both of those. All right. Now, for additional information on some of the different positions that we have available here at Decker, then you can get a hold of us, the recruiting department, at 888-668-0698, and we can give you more details based off of where you live, where you're at, and all that good stuff. So let us talk a little bit about that. I do want to remind you that we have one position that is considered a local position out of Fort Dodge, Iowa, running back and forth between Fort Dodge and Blair, Nebraska. It's a hopper position, so we just have the one, and it starts at 11 p.m., and it goes from basically Fort Dodge. It's slip seating, by the way. It goes from Fort Dodge to Blair, Nebraska, back to Fort Dodge. You might have a back haul on it, not 100% of the time, but you could have a back haul on it about a quarter of the time. And it pays $250 for the 11 p.m. Monday through Friday shift, and it pays $275 for the Saturday and Sunday shift. So how that works is you've got 2 days on and then 2 days off, 3 days on and then 3 days off, and then it goes back to the 2 on, 2 off, 3 on, 3 off. And that's why you will be getting weekends off on every other weekend thereabout. So that's why every other weekend you'll be getting the $275 for the shift instead of the $250. Okay. If you have any questions, again, it's 888. You can see the number right here. Where am I at? Wrong side. This side. The number is 888-668-0698, or you can apply online at drivedecker.com. Once we get the application, we'll give you a call. We'll walk through the application with you and make sure that what you're looking for is what we have out of your area, and make sure we're a good fit all the way around. Sound like a plan? Also, for those of you who are coming out of schools, and I've been getting a whole lot of questions on this lately, so I want to make sure that I'm clear on what we have available and what we don't have available. Out of the Midwest, we do have a few more options because we've got the van as well as the refrigerated. So we've got over-the-road refrigerated, we've got a Midwest refrigerated, we've got a guaranteed pay for the Midwest refrigerated, which is home weekly, and then we have our Midwest van. So our Midwest van, it can be over the road, which is multiple weeks at a time, 2 or so. We also have weekly home time if you're along I-80. But in those options, we can train. So in refrigerated and van positions, we do hire from PTDI certified schools, which means it needs to be at least a 160-hour course in order to get paid on that, or in order to train on that. And training pay is $500 a week. We pay you the $500 a week for 3 to 5 weeks, depending on how long you're with a trainer. And then once you're done with that, then you'll get paid the cents per mile based off of the division that you're going to be running. And then, of course, running solo at that point. Laura asked, do you have any company driver coast to coast? Absolutely, we do. We actually have both flatbed and refrigerated. Now, our refrigerated is going to be based out of Missoula, Montana, and it's usually about 2 to 3 weeks at a time, but it does depend on where you live. So if you want to pop in there, city and state, that gives me an idea of where you're at. Obviously, a pretty good idea of where you're at, and what I can do for you for home time. So again, based off of where you live, it's usually about 2 to 3 weeks out at a time. It's a day and a half for every 7 days you're out. It is a lot of west and it is a lot of Midwest. So even though it is coast to coast. So a lot of west and Midwest. Average length of haul in that division is about 1,100. Now we also have the over-the-road flatbed, which is also coast to coast, and again, only available in certain locations, and that's why it's important to know where you're at, to where you live. And then that one can be in some locations, if you're out west, that one's going to put you home about every 4 weeks. Whereas the Georgia, Alabama, well, it's going to get you, that has the option of getting you home weekly or every 2 weeks, but you're probably not going to be running coast to coast in that one. If you're getting home weekly, I mean. And then we have, if you're like in Texas or whatever, I'm throwing out random ones here for you, hopefully answering your question, but if you live in the Midwest, upper Midwest or southern Midwest, then, oh yes, so we're asking for my son, he lives in Melbourne, Iowa. Okay, so we have the over-the-road refrigerated, which is coast to coast, out of Missoula, Montana, and then we have the over-the-road flatbed that you can run as well, out of Bessemer, Alabama. Either option is fine. Now, if your son is a recent graduate, then it's important to note that I only will have refrigerated over the road at that point, the coast to coast, because the flatbed, we do require at the very minimum 6 months of over the road experience in my flatbed division based out of Bessemer, Alabama, in the experience. But for flatbed, we have to have 3 months of over the road tractor trailer experience. There we go. Now you're all confused, huh? Sorry, sorry about that. If I need to repeat myself, let me know. But it's, the flatbed does require tractor trailer, over the road tractor trailer experience. 3 months if you're within the Midwest, running the Midwest division. 6 months if you plan on running coast to coast out of our Bessemer, Alabama terminal. Okay, but for the refrigerated, we do not require a full 3 months or 6 months. We will require a minimum of 1 month of over the road, or the 160 hours at PTDI certified school. So DJ Hollywood, yes, 406, yes indeed, new place. Nah, it's all an illusion. He wants to do refrigerated. Good, Laura, we can help out with that. Yep. Average length of haul, I think I said over 1,100. If I didn't already say it, that's what it is. And that's going to be based out of Missoula. Now, he can still go to orientation in Fort Dodge, Iowa, our corporate office. So he can still do that. We do pay $800 for orientation. Actually, $900 because we have a $100 Visa gift card that you usually get as well. And that's either on Wednesday or thereabouts. You usually get it once you're done with your physical, your PCE. PCE is like range of motion and resistance. Plus we do both the hair follicle and the urinalysis for the drug test. So once all of that is done, you get your $100 Visa gift card. Of course, we are taking care of your hotel and your meals while you're here for orientation. And then your first $400 of your $800 for orientation, we're able to put on a COM data card, so that you'll have access to it right away, and it'll be handy. Whereas the second $400, that's going to be direct deposited. But we're able to put the first $400 on there so that you don't have to wait for the deposit. Like you're probably already familiar, takes a good week for a deposit to go through. So basically your paperwork can be in by Sunday night, and you'll be paid on it by Friday. That's new, by the way. We were able to push it back to Sunday instead of our Saturday cutoff time for our paperwork. Still get paid on Friday for it. So DJ Hollywood, awesome. Missoula, missed you. Oh, you were there? Well, I was there for just the one day for driver appreciation. I think it was Thursday. Yes, indeed. Well, if you have more questions, you guys, make sure that you get a hold of one of the recruiters. They are there, willing to answer some questions. 888-668-0698. You're welcome, Laura. Absolutely. Hope that helped. But give us a call if you have any more, and we'll We'll address them more specifically to you. You can always apply online at drivedecker.com. What side was it? Was it this side? Yeah. drivedecker.com and fill out the application, and we'll get the ball rolling. Make sure that you click on the upper right-hand corner. It says Apply Now, and that's the full application. It's the Intelli app, and if you filled out an Intelli app before, it'll autofill. Whereas the Quick Apply, that's just giving us your telephone number and your name. If you have a few questions and you just want those answered before you fill out your application, then that's what you want to click. That's what you want to start filling out. It's real brief. Yes. Oh, yeah. Anna, for orientation too, we do take care of I mentioned your hotel and your meals. Usually a rental car. We'll look at flights too, depending on where you're going and what's available for transportation from where you're at and to where you're going. And we'll look at a couple of different options for that, but we'll take care of that. We do have, what did I say? If we're doing a rental car, we pay for the gas as well. Just work with Comchecks. I think that's what I saw on there that Anna typed that it reminded me. Yes, fun-filled week. No out of pocket. Absolutely. All right. And don't forget, we do have in the Midwest refrigerated, we do have guaranteed pay. So if you live anywhere from Albert Lee, Minnesota to Chicago on I-90, or Omaha, Nebraska to Chicago on I-80, Fort Dodge, we do have a guaranteed pay for the refrigerated division. That'll get you home every weekend. So it'll get you home on the weekends, but it also guarantees $12.50 a week. So that $12.50. And most of those who are on that position, they actually make over and beyond that $12.50 just because of the miles that they're running and the pay they are getting per mile. Now also Kansas City area, a very busy area for us for freight for our refrigerated. So if you live in the Kansas City area and you're looking for weekly home time and you want a guarantee, that's a good spot for you. So again, that number is 888-668-0698 right there. Cool. All right. Well, that sounds about it. Don't forget, we do have flatbed opportunities in both Bessemer and Fort Dodge. We do require the experience for that, a little bit more than we do as our refrigerated division. But if you don't have flatbed experience, but do have over-the-road tractor-trailer experience, and you want to be trained in that, we can do that. We have Tanner will be there training you in the flatbed for our not Missoula, but Fort Dodge terminal. Tanner will be there and be able to answer some of your questions and show you how to do it properly. Be on the lookout. He's got a video coming out here shortly that'll give you the details step by step on proper, safe, and proper securement for tarping. So Laura says, was asking, do you drive out by California? Oh, yes, we do. So we have refrigerated into California. You're going to see Los Angeles pretty good, a lot of I-5 going into Oregon, Washington as well. For the loads, you probably won't see a lot of loads within California that are north of the Sacramento area. However, you'll probably travel up there because we go into Portland and Eugene and then over into Hermiston and whatnot in Oregon and a lot of Washington. And you probably won't see anything, or at least not much, south of the Los Angeles area. Fontana, Ontario area is probably as far south that you'd see for the most part. So hopefully that answers your question. So a lot of I-5. Cool. Alrighty. Well, again, if you guys have any questions, give us a holler. We will be there, rip roaring and ready to go. You can also get a hold of us on our Facebook channel, and we can answer questions for you on there as well throughout the evening and into the weekend. Availability is that. If you guys have any questions, let us know, but please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like I said, we've got Tanner coming out with a video here later this week that'll be showing you proper securement training and tarping, so how to get it done right, and as well as any live videos that we've got. Remember, here on Tuesday on our YouTube channel, we go live at noon Central, and then 11 Mountain, and then at 4 p.m. Central on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/DTL Inc. You can check us out there and see everything that's going on as well. And again, as a reminder, if you would, or have time, if you are familiar with who Bob was and Bob Wolvers, and have a moment to share a story with his family, please do so, and give your condolences if you would. Very good man, will definitely be missed, and we just want to have you guys remember him. Okay? Oh, DJ Hollywood says, who is DJ Hollywood, by the way? I hate it when I don't know who I'm talking to. It's in the, you have these incognito names. But he says, good loads in California area. All right, I'm just sitting here waiting to see who it is. There's enough of a delay that All right, so don't forget also to get on our Stametrics and fill out that survey. It's only going to take you a few minutes. Some of them are only 5-7 minutes. Could be as long as 10-15, but it's worth it, especially if it's $50, you guys. 10-15 minutes, $50. Sweet deal. Laura says, okay, thank you. He's planning on getting his permit this Friday. All right, make sure that when he's getting, I guess the important thing to remember, Laura, is that he had to attend a PTDI certified school, so it has to be 160 hours. A permit alone won't do the trick. It needs to be a valid Class A CDL. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. Okay. All right, so I will let you guys all go. As a reminder, stay healthy. Make sure you're eating a lot of whole foods and avoid a lot of those manufactured foods. Avoid a lot of that so that you don't have a lot of preservatives in your system, and get your metabolism going a little bit better, keeps you healthier, and prevents a lot of sicknesses, a lot of illnesses as well. So a lot of whole foods. Do that. Good 10 minutes of a brisk walk, a comfortable walk for you, and stay healthy, you guys. It's fall. It's time to get colds. But let's avoid it. No, I'm just joking. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell, and then, of course, follow us on Facebook. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will be here next week as well as on our Facebook channel if you have additional questions. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day.